Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Before we get started, I just want to apologize for my dress, but like many of you out there, I'm powerless, excuse the pun, and I can't get into the call. So with that, if you please stand. I'm going to have Nancy DiMici, Council, lead us in the pledge. And will Chief Curran please lead us in prayer?
With the voice of the Republic about to speak and the orderly changing of governance that an election gives rise to, we ask the blessings of our God as we meet tonight. We unite most humbly, offering our prayer to the Lord of all nations, that our work may proceed with peace, accord, and justice. Always protect our servicemen and women and their families, and all those we especially remember on Veterans Day. We acknowledge the blessings of liberty, and with sincere and humble gratitude, we beseech Him to enable us to perform our duties faithfully and honestly. Amen.
Thank you, Chief. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mercanti.
Here.
Curran. DiMici. Riley. Seabury.
Here.
Stanley. Taylor. Cola.
Here.
Negasheth.
Present.
Ellis. Cabo.
Present.
Sadi.
Present.
Visconti.
Present.
Trombetta. Knapp.
Here.
Nero.
Here.
Perkins. Chenese.
Present.
Botello.
Here.
Scozzabella. And Tyshaws.
President.
There being 15 present and 6 absent, let the record reflect the following. Mr. Riley is still recovering from his surgery, but he's doing well. Obviously not quite up and about as much as he wants. Thought he might make an appearance tonight, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Mrs. Stanley is not feeling well. She had, I get to her health issues, but she's not feeling well. Figure on TV. Mr. Taylor is at a family function. Mr. Hallis is at a family function. Mr. Trombetta is stuck in Stanford, taking care of some family business with the loss of power. Mr. Perkins is at work this evening. The first 30 minutes of each council meeting are reserved for public speaking. I ask any member of the council, or any member of the public that wishes to address the council this evening, please do so about an item that is specifically on the agenda, and that you must be a resident and or taxpayer of the city of Danbury to address the city council. At this time, is there any member of the public that wishes to address the city council? Any member of the public that wishes to address the city council? Please provide your name and address for the record.
Good evening, my name is Charlie Sotero. I'm a lifelong resident of Danbury. I'm a property owner, city map I-16, lot 130. I speak tonight on the department report section of tonight's agenda, as well as item number 14 of the Danbury aviation lease. My first situation would be with the Danbury Airport lease. I'm not in favor of any long-term lease, such as a 25-year lease on the airport. The airport's future is undecided, and we do not need to be tied to such a long term. I don't feel it's in the best interest of the city. Under Police Department reports, calls for service this month compared to last year were down 5%. Traffic enforcement is down 20% for the same period last year. Uniform crime report for the same period last year is up 10%, 123 crimes. In regards to the Public Works report, which is not in tonight's agenda, but I'm sure it's okay to speak to that, I hope.
Not really, but we'll let you, if you got something to say, go ahead.
Okay, I just would be curious how many of the CLMP outages in Danbury have been caused by city trees, city-owned trees that perhaps have not been pruned or hazard evaluated, or have we done our part? CLMP evidently, in your opinion, hasn't done their part, but have we done our part? Thank you.
Yes, we have. Any other members of the public wish to address the council? Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom Devine. I'm a property owner at 261 Main Street, 2 Ives Street, and 5 Ives Street. Also chairman of City Center Danbury and owner of Two Steps Downtown Grill. I'd like to draw your attention to item number 13, I believe, about the expansion of the City Center District. And we are hoping tonight that you will vote in favor of that. As many of you know, as we've met with you in private, the City Center operates on a shoestring budget. And this would add much needed funds for our goals in helping to revitalize downtown, both economically and from an events and maintenance standpoint. So thank you.
Thanks, Tom, appreciate it. Any other member of the public? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Andrea Gardner, 16 Haystown Road in Danbury. I'm also Executive Director of City Center Danbury, and I just want to support what my chairman, Tom Devine, mentioned, and hope that you vote in favor of the expansion of the City Center District to include the one parcel owned by one property owner into our district, and expanding its boundaries along a boundary that makes a lot of sense to include all of the Kennedy Place property.
Any other member of the public wish to address the council this evening? Any other member of the public? Seeing none, then I'll move on with our announcements, and we have two sort of out of the ordinary, extraordinary things that are going to be during the announcements. First, we're going to start with some good stuff, some happy stuff. We're joined by tonight by State Representative Jan Gigler. We appreciate her taking time out of her busy schedule, and she has done a terrific job at assisting us as we work at trying to get the city back up in terms of power. But Jan, I know you have a presentation you'd like to make, so the mic there is yours.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society presents awards and recognizes honored heroes. And there it's for the strength and courage that they have shown as a survivor of leukemia or lymphoma. And it also recognizes an individual who shows a lot of inspiration and support to individuals who may also have that disease. And I have to say that we can be proud that one of our councilwomen, Mary Teichel, has received that award, and we want to recognize her in the General Assembly for her inspiration and her work with young people and also seniors. So I'm here tonight to present a citation introduced by myself, by Godfrey of the 110th, Dan Carter of the 2nd District, Jay Tabersack of the 109th, and Senator Mike McLaughlin of the 24th District. Be it here my note to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Mary Teichels in recognition of your being named the Connecticut chapter of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society as an honored hero. Your continued advocacy and dedication to educating others makes you a role model to your peers and a crusader against these tragic diseases. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success given this first day of November 2011 at the State Capitol in Hartford, and it's signed by the President Pro Tem, Speaker of the House, and Secretary of State. Congratulations, Mary.
Congratulations, Mrs. Price Schultz, and thank you, Representative Hickler, for that presentation. Much appreciated. We also have kind of a little bit of break in our procedures tonight. As you know, you had a catastrophic snowstorm on Saturday, and while Danbury stands, and Antonio will have a little more specifics about this, about 50% power restoration. By the way, I just want to point out that Bethel is at close to 100%, and Newtown is at 99% out, without power. Let me just repeat that. Bethel and Newtown are basically 100% without power. New Fairfield is 100% without power. So actually, I think there's a very good indication that the preventive maintenance that we've done, that we're not 100% out, we're only 50% out, indicates that we did spend some time doing the things that we need to do. Having said that, CLMP has been absolutely horrendous at dealing with, they have not delivered 1 ounce on one promise made since the day the storm broke. At this point, there are 6 crews that are working in the city. We need about 60 to be able to get up and running. One thing I want to mention to the council as well, to our residents that are here and department heads, we cannot touch a tree that is close to a power line, that we may think get close to a power line, that's wrapped in a power line, that has power lines touching in any way, without having an individual from CLMP there with us to shut the power off. It would be absolutely tragic to get one of our individuals electrocuted because we didn't follow OSHA guidelines as well as state statute in some cases as it relates to tree clearing. So we do know about the trees in the middle of the road. We get it. We see them too. We have an extensive list of over 200 trees that probably need to be cleared, and many of them, probably 98% of them, are somehow entangled with wires or part of the grid, and that is one of the challenges that we have. With that, I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Igrola, who will be able to give us a little bit more detailed specifics on the cleanup and restoration process. And if the council is willing and they're of the opinion, we will certainly entertain questions if that's okay with everybody here. Okay, no objections? Okay, Mr. Igrola.
Sure, thank you. Just to kind of brief you on our road closures, because it is a major issue for all of us, especially emergency vehicles. Immediately after the storm, we had 200 roads that were completely blocked inaccessibly by either one of my pieces of equipment, fire, or police. We are now down to about 60 roads. Most of those are related to trees and power lines. So we are eager to try to move those along. We have a couple of dead-end roads where residents absolutely cannot get in or out. Those are of a special concern to us, and we are working with the crews that have come to Danbury to try to open up those dead-end roads. As far as our schools, our Magnus 2, Broadview, Pembroke, both King Street schools, and the Beaverbrook Board of Education offices are without power. A couple nights ago, it got pretty cold, and we're very concerned about the schools that actually had sprinkler systems in them. These buildings, because of their size, cool off rather quickly. We were able to actually take the high school and energize a boiler, so we started some heat there, and Broadview also. Those are 2 schools of special concerns to us because of the sprinkler systems. When it comes to our water and sewer systems, Marjorie Reservoir and the treatment plant up there has been on standby power since the storm. As of about a half hour ago, it's now going back on a grid. We have just one small pump station there that is still on standby power. And I just want to tell you, if we had lost the generator, which potentially can happen, we would try to run the entire city based on the Westlake treatment plant, but it requires reversing all the flows. And as soon as you reverse flows, the water would become so dirty, it would probably be almost not drinkable. So that's a major concern. We'd have water to fight fires, but we definitely probably would not be able to tell residents to drink the water. So keeping Marjorie operational is critical to us, and we babysat that generator through the entire storm and actually after the storm. Harvest Hill Pump Station is still on emergency generator. The Hawthorne Terrace water system is still on emergency generator. We're continuously monitoring those systems. When it comes to our sewer facilities, Hillside Street, Terrywell Lake, and Turner Road pump stations. These are all pump stations that take flow and actually send them uphill to a gravity system. Several of these are actually being serviced now by septic haulers. We are pumping them anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. So every 8 to 10 hours, we actually have to pump the wet well out. That's a significant cost, so we are especially eager to try to get these pump stations up and running. We have notified residents, and I would hope that they would encourage our guidance in trying to minimize water usage, which would help us in dealing with this issue. When it comes to our vehicle and equipment, I just want to tell you our vehicles sustained severe damage from the storm. Everything from cap shields, mirrors, antennas, lights, body damage, plow damage, exhaust stacks knocked right off, broken windshields, you name it, we have it. A lot of these trucks had to be used almost as bulldozers during the storm. A tree came down, we had a couple fire calls, couple ambulance calls. We had no choice but to try to push some of these big trees out of the way with our plows. It was a judgment call that management made in trying to keep the safety of our residents intact. And we did, and thank God nothing really bad happened. But there is extensive damage there that we have to deal with. I just want to talk a little bit about CLMP's response. You know, the mayor and I have been in extreme contact, direct contact with anybody that would be willing to talk to us from CLMP. Our liaison, lovely lady, unfortunately I believe that she also is not getting the right information, and she's also not being communicated to the extent that we're not being communicated with. This afternoon at 1 o'clock, after 2 days of promising crews, we got two crews. Two crews came into town. We immediately shifted our resources to team up with them so we could be extremely effective in opening up roads. The two crews showed up. We met over at Rogers Park. We sent one out to Montville. They get up there. They see it's three-phase power. They put a call into CLMP. 2 hours later, nobody calls us back. I have 10 pieces of equipment, 12 people there, plus one of the crews. No call back from CLMP. We made a decision to relocate them, go up to Apple Blossom. We all shoot up to Apple Blossom, dead-end road, residents can't get out. We show up, we're surprised. 2 residents on a ladder trying to cut a tree that actually is energized lines, which scares the heck out of us all. We show up, they spent 1 hour trying to contact their supervisor at CLMP to get authorization to work on a single-phase line. This is the frustration that I've been dealing with in the last 2 days. The lack of communication, the lack of supervision, the lack of guidance. The crew that came in from Georgia, they'd do anything for us, but they were not authorized to work on these lines without contacting CLMP. So I'm going to tell you something. If I was handling your resources that way, I would expect you to fire me immediately. It is absolutely outrageous to think that you can have that kind of equipment out there and that kind of manpower, and we lost 4 hours today waiting for a phone call back from CLMP. I've been with 3 radio stations today. I've been with 2 TV stations today. They all witnessed what I saw today, and they could not believe it. And understand this, these crews were only there to basically de-energize the line, allow us to cut the tree, and then we left. They're not there to do any restoration work. So this frustration and the aggravation now has to go into a restoration crew. I got to have restoration crews come in and get into those same locations and try to get these power lines back up. So I'm going to tell you, if you want to do anything for your residents, get on the phone, try to contact anybody that's willing to listen about CLMP's response. It is an absolute shame that anybody would manage resources this way, and I'm beyond frustrated by it. You know, Public Works has given 100%. Last storm, the only way we were really effective was when we teamed up our people with CLMP. We have a lot of good people, we have a lot of great resources, we have some strong equipment, we could be very effective, but not when we're waiting 2 hours and nobody calls us back about being able to work on a power line. It is just ridiculous to think that that's happening in today's society with all the technology that we have and the communication systems that we all carry right on our sides. So having said that, I just want to end by saying I want to thank my entire Public Works staff. I cannot tell you what a great team you guys have working for you. We pulled every opportunity and every possible resource together to conquer this storm. The mayor allowed me to basically use every resource I have, regardless of which department it's in, and these guys have done a great job. You have water department working with the tree guys, you have highway department working with Parks and Rec, and vice versa. They all pulled together, and I just want to thank them personally, because I'm going to tell you, my life would have been miserable if these guys and gals did not step up to the plate. Nobody ever said, we're not going to do it. There was no union issues working across lines and things like that. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank my managers, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Thank you.
Any questions for Antonio? Antonio, Mr. Scott?
Your Honor, I live out in Mill Plain, Road, and when I came to work this morning, there must have been 35 trucks they were hired by, they were, you know, electrical trucks, either hired or CLP trucks. And as you said, they only use 6 in town. Maybe you can't answer that now because you're having a communication problem. But after this is all over, I would really like to know, if I can, where they went. And maybe you couldn't get through the road.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with what I just discussed. A lot of these crews are sitting on the side of the road waiting for either a CLMP supervisor to actually lead them and make judgment calls on what they can work and what they can't work on. And I'm going to tell you, I had a bunch of residents staring at us 2 hours. I got all this equipment on the road. I felt compelled to go tell them we're waiting for a decision for CLMP. I was waiting for them to call the mayor's office and say, you got a bunch of guys here just waiting and standing on the road. But I believe that's really what's happening, is some of those resources are in town, but they're just not effectively being used, whether it's from a lack of management, a lack of guidance. I really don't know, but it happened to us today, so I can only speculate that that's what was going on.
We receive a report of some sort next week, whenever you do get through to them, of exactly why this is happening and why they're not contacting you, who are our representative. And I mean, we can't do it now because they're very busy, but after that, I mean, I have none. You know, we have to do something as a council, as a town.
Yeah, again, I just want to repeat myself and tell you that the communication is horrendous. I was told there were 5 crews before. The 2 crews that came to work with us were in town. We asked, where are they located? We don't know. They're somewhere near Federal Road. They're working on equipment issues, not so much power line issues, but major equipment issues. We found out today, as we're traveling through the city, there's a couple crews working with Lewis Tree Service. We had no idea they're in town. So our lists are not even current anymore because there is some effort being put into CLMP to work, but they're not communicating that to us. So it's just a terrible, terrible communication issue. And for what reason? Why would you not coordinate efforts? Why would you not contact each other? Why would you not say, Antonio, I'm on this side of town and we've dealt with these 3 priority issues that you gave us? It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, and the problem is that once people get the power back up, they sort of forget. And, 60 days from now, we'll have some kind of dog and pony show with CLMP, everybody will pat each other on the back and say how great they are. But, the reality is that nothing has changed. Nothing changed from Irene. These are the same nonsense that we went through with Irene, the same ineffectual communication. And it's not lying, but it's out and out you know, we have 3 crews here for you, where are they? Well, we're not sure. Well, how do you know you have 3 crews? Well, I heard that. You know, that's the kind of stuff that they share back to us, and it's just outrageous. But, you know, we're going to keep working through it, and we'll survive. Okay. Other questions for Antonio? Okay, thank you, Antonio. Appreciate that. To that, that's a good segue. Just a couple of thank yous and announcements I want to give out. Obviously, Antonio, thank the Public Works Department. I want to add in Forestry and Highway as well, and Duke and his team. I want to take a moment to thank my staff who came in Saturday and Sunday, as well obviously as Monday, and stayed extra hours, and that's Wayne, Shepard, PJ Prunty, Elisa, Joan Soderstrom was in answering phones, Jeff Preston down in 311 came in Sunday morning to answer phones, so everybody was pitching in, and you know, I appreciate the fact that they've done it. Paul Estefan is back here somewhere. You know, he recently had a loss in his family. You know, he was all over, and continues to be all over. Well, we just left the shelter, if I know Paul, right now where we have about 50 or 60 residents. The War Memorials done a phenomenal job, and they're going to be offering warm shelter, showers for the rest of the week, and they've done an outstanding job of doing that. The Red Cross, who's been staffing the War Memorial, with their volunteers. The Boughton Street Y, which is offering showers as well. We appreciate their help. Snappy Pizza, which donated all kinds of food this weekend for the folks in our shelter. ARC, which is offering free coffee and donuts to people that want to get warm. Western Connecticut, that's offering a special needs shelter that they have. Those are for people that have left the hospital because there's such an influx of folks at the hospital that can't be released back to their homes because it's 35 degrees in their house. So Western was kind enough to open up a shelter, and Western Connecticut Health Network has been helping us find nursing and all of the relative accessories that go with that. City Center Danbury donating their candy for Halloween last night at the mall, which, you know, there's a lot of things I've done in my career as mayor, but asking people to go to the mall for Halloween I thought was sort of a minor thing. And, you know, people just flipped out that they couldn't walk through their neighborhoods. But, folks, you know, we got wires down, we got sidewalks that are icy. I mean, all we need is one child to grab a power line and get electrocuted. And then none of us could look at each other the next day knowing we let that happen. So I'm just baffled and puzzled by parents that have, frankly, put a candy bar ahead of basic safety. But I do want to thank them all for opening up their venue. I was there yesterday, and PJ and I gave out $400 of my own money of candy, and kids loved it. They had a good time. And also, obviously, all the Danbury residents or people who were dropping candy off to the mall and just, you know, letting people distribute it. Jim Waters Construction for loaning us a loading truck to unload water from the National Guard. For those folks that are watching tonight, you probably have power, so it's not going to be an issue, but you can tell your friends and neighbors and relatives that you can pick up potable water right here at the New Street headquarters. Chief Harold is overseeing that. We appreciate the work he's done. As well as non-potable water you can get at Beaver Brook, Myrie Brook, and King Street from 3 to 8 p.m. That's for water you use for flushing your toilet. You do have to bring your own container to be able to collect your water, but it is available to our residents. Paul, we're bringing in MREs, meals ready to eat. Very soon we'll be announcing a distribution point for those probably tomorrow, so that residents will be able to get meals that are still without power. So I hate to be the downer, but I do want to get that information out for the folks that are watching at home. The other thing I really would caution people, and I can tell you from personal experience, it's been a very difficult time for me personally, but you have to watch your elderly residents, the seniors that are out there. A lot of them don't want to leave their homes. PJ's working with a lady who's 93 in the city, and she does not want to go down to the War Memorial Shelter. So we're trying to make sure that she's warm and comfortable. So if you have somebody that lives next door to you, or you know somebody, knock on their door, ask how they're doing. Get them a cup of coffee, get them a blanket, try to help them out as we get through this very difficult time. With that, that's pretty much the update on the storm, and we'll keep you posted as well if anything else major happens. I want to just give you a couple other quick announcements. I know this is a long period of the meeting tonight, so I'll try to keep it brief. November 3rd, Conscious Parks and Sensation. These things are assuming that there's power, so you might want to call ahead to make sure it's happening. But Ice Park Sensation, Season of Success. Has that canceled already? Okay, thank you. That's been canceled. The Diwali Festival is also on November 5th at Rogers Park Middle School. I believe that's still on, which is a celebration of the Indian New Year. Chief Baker's in the back of the seat. Chief, thank you and your staff for your help during this time as well. I didn't mention that's much appreciated. November 9th, the Senior Center has a Veterans Honoring Program, which is kind of neat to attend. The 10th is the Exchange Club Veterans Day Dinner. Of course, the November 11th, as you know, 11 is the Council of Veterans Annual Veterans Day Ceremony. They do that in War Memorial. Western Connecticut also has a pretty good Veterans Day observation at 12:30. The 13th is the Vietnam Veteran Memorial Ceremony. 17th, Tom, is that the right date? Lebanon American Club? Okay. Thursday, 17th, Lebanon American Club Person of the Year Dinner. Good event, good fundraiser for the club. All of us are there at one point or another, so if you would be to attend. Of course, Thanksgiving week, City Hall is closed on the 24th. And our second annual HACCP Memorial Turkey Trot is at Terrawell Park in honor of Officer Donald HACCP. Right now, elections are scheduled for next week. I have no reason to believe that they will not happen, although there is some discussion going on at the state. If there's somebody can find the statutory authority to postpone them 1 week, it's very possible that might happen. But we don't have any information. I'll get it out to all parties included. I'll get that out as much as I can. I personally, as long as we possibly have elections Tuesday, like to do it and get it done. I'll have more information about that as soon as we know anything, if it's been a change. But because of that, and the way the calendar falls this year, this is really the last council meeting for a couple of folks. And I did want to recognize them now since I'm on a roll. We appreciate their service and their commitment to this community. And in no particular order, we're going to start with ladies first, but City Councilman Nancy DiPanucci, we appreciate your work, and the last 2 years has been a ball working with you. And one of the most popular members of the council, and we're going to miss you. So thank you for your service to this great city. Much appreciated. And of course, Councilman Bob Arcani, we appreciate your, I think it's been 4 terms or 3? 3 terms? 2 terms. 4 years. Okay. Only 1 meeting a month, Bob.
I had a couple things to say, but
We're going to give you the floor. So let me just, we'll get back to you, Bob, if you need the floor. Councilman Wiley is not with us. Obviously, he didn't run again. So we thank our favorite veteran here, who's always been a passionate advocate for veterans issues, and former principal at ACE. So Bob, if you're watching, thank you for all you've done, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there. We appreciate your time. Let's give him a round of applause. Back to Bob Arcani, favorite subject. Bob is taking the job as school finance director. Just kidding. But also, sincerity, Bob, I know I speak for the members of the council, the residents out there. You've always been a strong and passionate advocate for children. You've been an advocate for obviously our public safety officials, and you've done a phenomenal job here. We're going to miss you, and we want to thank you for your service as well. Great job. Thank you. Councilman, the floor is yours. Have fun.
Hey, thanks. First of all, I'd like to thank the people who obviously voted for me and put me in this position. I mean, it was a great honor. It is a great honor to serve on this thing here. And I also have to thank my chief of staff, Carol, my wife. Her and I would go over this agenda book that we would get every month. And, she helped me with the big words, because Tech in St. Gregory's, that's as far as I went. I'm the least educated person up here. And, there's a special word for the people, guys that are here, there's a special word for the folks that get you to run. They say it's 1 meeting a month. It's called a liar. I'm looking at you, Mark.
That's good, I admit it.
But being on a council is it's fun at times. It's frustrating. It's even exciting and exhausting. like when Riley and Rotello just go out. Exhausting. What are you laughing at, Sadi? There were times when you were going on, I had no idea what you were saying at all. A couple times there, I asked Curran here to kill me. I thought he was going to do it a couple times also. Curran, look at that. Mean as a hornet. I'm not walking that Irish trail. Classic, Phil. But nobody better for the council. Nobody loves the city more. But this has been a pretty good run on all this kind of thing. Look at Pete laughing. You know, I know over the years, I guess I insulted a few people that work for the city and department heads, and I just, look, I'm not going anywhere, and if I see you around, I just want you to know that I meant everything that I said. I won't take back a word of it. I said, if it was up to me, I'd fire a few of these people that are here, but because of unions and all that, you just can't do it. There's no doubt in my mind with that. But, I'm sorry? Oh, no, have I ever held backs? Backs, by the way. You know, well, thank you very much for everything, and I thank you all for putting up with me and all, and it's been a great run.
Move the question, please.
That's the most I've ever said.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate all you've done, and I'm going to thank you for your work. With that, we will move on with the agenda. I just want to say we have Don Taylor has a birthday tomorrow, November 2nd. And Paul Rotello's birthday is November 5th. Congratulations, Paul. And President Minutes, please.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we waive the reading of the minutes as all members have copies, and copies are on file in the legislative assistant's office.
Second. Motion's been made by Mr. Cabo, seconded by Mr. Negrishet. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the minutes as presented? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds on acceptance of the minutes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, Mr. Majority Leader, the consent calendar, please.
I have to tell you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Arconte's a hard act to follow, but I'll do just like that. Consent calendar November 1st, 2011 is as follows. Number 2, receive the communication and authorize purchasing department to dispose of surplus pipe, valves, and fittings with the estimate value between $5,000 and $10,000 pursuant to the requirements set forth in Section 2-153 of the Code of Ordinance. Number 3, receive the communication and allow the Connecticut Counseling Center to assist the City of Danbury's Emergency Homeless Center in providing a full range of licensed outpatient services. The amount utilized for these services is not to exceed $2,000. There is no local match required. Number 4, receive the communication and allow the City Emergency Shelter to accept services of work, materials, and labor from the New Opportunities Incorporated Weatherization Division as a result of their recent energy audit. The amount utilized for these services not to exceed $3,000. There is no local match required. Number 7, receive the communication and adopt a resolution that will allow the City of Danbury Department of Health and Human Services to apply for and accept funding for a lead poison prevention program. This funding is not to exceed $9,461, will be used to provide education regarding lead poisoning awareness and to help implement state regulations. There is no local match required. Number 8, receive the communication and adopt a resolution that will allow the City of Danbury Department of Health and Human Services to accept funding for the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Grant. This funding not to exceed $168,792, covers a period of 8/10/2011 to 8/9/2014 and requires no local match. Number 9, receive the communication and adopt a resolution that will allow the City of Danbury Department of Health and Human Services to accept additional funding from the State of Connecticut Department of Social Services for daily operations of the city's homeless shelter. The current approved funding period began October 1st, 2010 and extends 2 years, ending on September 30, 2012. This additional funding not to exceed $15,796 increases year 2 of this contract. There's no local match required. Number 10, receive the communication, adopt a resolution that will allow Mayor Mark D. Boughton to enter an agreement and accept funding from the Northwest Regional Workforce Investment Board. This funding not to exceed $36,000 will allow Danbury Youth Services to enroll approximately 15 Danbury students into the 2011 school year youth employment program. No local match is required. Number 12, receive the reports and approve the positive recommendation of the city engineer and planning commissioner for water main and sanitary sewer extensions at 30 Reynolds Road. Number 14, receive the communication, adopt the committee's recommendation. And that, sir, is a consent calendar for November 1st.
Thank you very much, Mr. Majority Leader. What's your pleasure, council? Your hand up? No? Okay. Mr. Knapp.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
Second. Motion made and by Mr. Knapp, second by Mr. Shinichi. Any discussion about the consent calendar? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk, item 1, please.
Communication donation from the Charles Ives Authority. Members of the City Council from Mark D. Boughton, Mayor. Permission is requested to accept a donation of $1,000 from the Charles Ives Authority for the Performing Arts. Donations were made to the Danbury first responders during the recent September 11th anniversary at the Ives Park. The authority requests the money be divided into thirds between the Danbury Fire Department, Police Department, and the EMS. The funds will be placed in the following accounts. Donation 6000-2010. Fire. Donation 6000-2000. Police. I request this generous donation be accepted at the next meeting of the City Council. If you require any additional information, please feel free to contact me. Sincerely, Mark D. Boughton, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. What's your pleasure, council? Mr. Knapp.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion to receive the communication and accept the donation of $1,000 from the Charles Ives Authority for the Performing Arts. These donations made to the Danbury first responders during the recent September 11th anniversary at Ives Park will be divided into thirds between the Danbury Fire Department, Police Department, and the EMS.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp, seconded by Mr. Shinichi. Any discussion about the donation from the Irish authorities 9/11 event? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds in acceptance. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries unanimously. Items 2, 3, and 4 were consent. Madam Clerk, item 5, please.
Communication relocation of sanitary sewer force main, WCSU. Dear Mayor Boughton, City Council members, enclosed please find a request from SEV Incorporated on behalf of Western Connecticut State University regarding the new Visual and Performing Arts Center building project at the West Side campus to relocate the sanitary sewer force main and perform the associated work. Please take the necessary steps to approve the relocation of the existing force main. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Sincerely, Fareed Corey, City Engineer.
Madam Clerk, what's your pleasure, council? Ms. Steischultz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to refer this to the City Engineer and Planning for reports.
Seeing no objection, is so ordered. Madam Clerk, item 6, please.
Communication, request for renewal of sewer and water extension at 25 Reynolds Road.
Madam Clerk, what's your pleasure, council? Mr. Carter.
I'd like to refer this to the city engineering and planning for report.
Seeing no objection, is so ordered. Items 7 and 8 were on consent, as was 9 and 10. Madam Clerk, item 11, please.
Report, renaming of Pocono Lane Bypass Road to Neal's Way. To Mark Boughton, members of the council, from Dennis Alpern, Director, Department of Planning and Zoning. The The department is in receipt of your referral and associated correspondence from the October 2011 City Council agenda regarding the renaming of the Pocono Lane bypass road to Neal's Way. Upon review of the official list of street names, the department has found that there are no other streets named Neal's Way. Therefore, we have no objection to the renaming of the Pocono Lane bypass road to Neal's Way as requested. Please do not hesitate to contact the department if there are any questions regarding this memorandum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. What's your pleasure, council? Mr. Seabury?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry about that. I'd like to make a motion to approve the renaming of the Pocono Lane bypass road to Neal's Way.
Second. Made and seconded by Mr. Sadi. Any discussion? I believe Mr. Sadi has to read a letter to the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Linda Van Valkenburg couldn't be here tonight. She was here at the last meeting, and she gave me a letter to read to the council. Linda Van Valkenburg, November 1st. Dear Mayor Mark Boughton, Councilman Sadi, and City Council members, please accept with my sincere gratitude and best wishes from my family for in anticipation for what you have done tonight. Neal's Way has a sweet and long history centered on my family, love and safety. My father, Neal T. Van Valkenburg, was dedicated to his family, business, and community. Some of you may have known him. He retired from 43 years as Vice President of Administration and Investment Research at Goldman Sachs. He and my mother retired from Danbury in 1998. He served in Danbury Hospital Development Fund, Southern Hospital Annual Cancer Golf Tournament Committee, as well as other committees. He assistant coach at Immaculate High School. He made a difference. He suggested that the chairman and I set up a petition to request safer access to Route 6 interchange from Pocono Road. The results from that early suggestion led to so much more. Thanks to Mayor Mark Boughton, Tom Sadi, and many of you and your associates, the new access road eased the situation that affected local residents, relieved a difficult political situation for town officials and state government. I have some editorial to put on that. I am very grateful that my father was able to see and use the new road before his passing last September. I only wish he could have been here for him to see the Neal's Way sign. Somehow I think he knows and he's smiling. Thank you, Linda Van Valkenburg and his proud grandchildren, Charles J. Burkhart, United States Army Captain, Samantha Burkhart, and Lauren Burkhart. And Your Honor, Ms. Van Valkenburg apologizes for not being able to be here, to the entire council. And just to stress, many of you know that this was something that the municipality administration worked with other council members on when the state failed to step up to the plate. And I'm sure we'll pass unanimously, and thank other council members and people who aren't here now but who were on the council for working to get this through.
Thank you, Mr. Sadi. I think there won't be only one person in this room upset about this name change would be Mr. Iardiola, who had dubbed the passway the state doesn't care lane.
That did not give me a lot of...
No, we need to come out of point for DOT on that one. May approve the special projects. Seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor of the name change, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, item 12 is on consent. Item 13, please.
Ad hoc report and ordinances, expansion of city center district.
President.
Your Honor, without objection, I'd like to make a motion that we read the reading of the minutes and refer this item to a public hearing and followed by a committee of the whole.
Okay, motion been made, seconded. Any discussion? We want to send it for the committee of the whole. Okay, seeing none, then I'll try your minds on sending this to public hearing and committee of the whole to follow public hearing. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? The motion carries unanimously. Item 14 was consent, Mr. President. Department reports.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we waive the reading of the departmental reports. And all members have copies and copies are on file in the legislative assistant's office.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilman Negushet. Any discussion on the department reports? Any discussion? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds on acceptance. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Before we go, a couple quick observations. One is, I believe John Newman has a birthday coming up. Happy birthday, John. Thank you for all your work. And as mentioned earlier, next Tuesday, a week from tonight, is Election Day. I wish everybody who is running for re-election good luck. It's the last week. I think you guys are all veterans, and let's just keep our wits about ourselves out there. We're all neighbors. We all live together at the end. And we all want what's best for the city. So, pleasure working with all of you. Good luck to you. And God willing, we'll see each other at the next meeting. With that, I'll entertain send all committees, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moves.
Seconded by Mr. Hankerson. All in favor of adjournment,